don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. And we sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 510th episode of the Political Spotlight. I am your host, Christopher H. Bilbrrey. It's great to be with you. Thank you for tuning in, and I am so sorry, ladies and gentlemen, that we have been absent a couple days this week. This has been probably one of the busiest weeks. It's been a very strange week, but it's been one of the busiest weeks that I've had doing what we do in a very long time. The last 2 or 3 days have been absolutely insane with the amount of work that has been coming in and the information that's been coming my way. So that's that. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all shapes, sizes, and denominations, creeds, whatever you are. Welcome. This is the Political Spotlight. I, of course, am your host, Christopher H. Bilbrrey. Producer Kate's down below, making sure everything works well, putting up your comments, doing the research when I need research, helping put up other comments, and doing other stuff, and also sewing, needlepoint or whatever it is, doing a wonderful thing down there. So that's that. We want to thank you all for tuning in and giving us a bit of your time. We understand how valuable your time is. So we are honored that you've decided to share that with us. Before we get into the show, I want to ask you all to consider hitting that like button. Remind you that if you are not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please consider doing so. It does not cost you anything. You can do it for absolutely free. Doesn't cost you a thing to hit that like button, to subscribe to the YouTube channel, click that bell, and moreover, share the show with everyone you know. That's very important. Remember, this just isn't a show, but it's a community, and we want to hear what you're thinking. If you're watching live, feel free to comment over here on the right-hand side. If you're watching in the future via the replay button, comment down below, get a hold of us, do all of that. If you want to get a hold of us wherever you're from, and if you don't, if you're not, holy crap, just hit 70 recently. And that's truly amazing. If you want to reach out to us, you can find us all over social media. There's the YouTube links, the Rumble links, our 2 Facebook accounts. our X account, studio line, email, both emails. So do it. I hear that the people up in Blackford County, there's people up there that like to play on the phone and do weird ass prank phone calls and stuff. So yeah, it won't be the first and it won't be the last. So do your worst, whatever. But just don't break the law. That's what you need to remember. So we got a lot to get into. We have some things. Tonight was so let me tell you this first and foremost. Yeah, Eric, I've thought about that before. We've thought about that a time or two, reaching out to them and saying like, hey, and I've actually talked to a couple people, and it's never came to fruition, but that might be something of interest at some point that would be interesting to try out. It would definitely be interesting. Specifically, once we start this new show, it might be something that we really need. So that's something I might need to check into. All right, so we've got people watching from all over, live or via replay. So I'll give you kind of a rundown of what we're going to be talking about tonight. The description for those of you that haven't read it. Like there's some people that like reading the description ahead of time. Some people don't care. They just jump on. So for those watching live, it's Thursday. We're back. It's been one of the busiest weeks, as I've stated. We get a lot of information that's been pouring into the Political Spotlight team from all directions over the last couple of days. So on this 510th episode, we will once again be packing it full of some of the hottest political commentary out there. I want to tell you guys a couple of really important things. I am not a journalist. First and foremost, I do not claim to be a journalist. I am not a journalist. I have not been to journalism school. I do not believe that I am a journalist, breaking news, doing all of that. I consider myself a political commentator. I've been involved in politics for a very long time. At the local, state, and national level, and I consider myself a political commentator. I am no different than anybody else, except I've just been doing it. Literally, anybody could do this. It just takes the time and effort to do it. Over the years, I have built sources in about every aspect of local, state, and national government that you could imagine. And I don't burn those sources. A lot of people reach out to me. If you want to reach out to me and give me information, I do not burn sources. That's important for people to know. We have some new people watching. You know what I mean? So that's the reason I'm going through this. Consider myself a political commentator. That's it. I don't just come up with the things that I'm saying. That's true, Eric. That's definitely true. People bring me this information. I then do my best to verify it and put it out there. Okay, so I don't just dream this up. The reason I'm talking about Blackford County is because I've had an abundance of people reach out to me about Blackford County. The reason I'm talking about things from Henry County is I've had a lot of people reach out to me about Henry County. The reason I'm talking about Madison County, I've had a lot of people reach out to me about Madison County. I live in Muncie, Delaware County, so that's my home turf, but I've also had people reach out to me here as well. So everything I talk about is because someone's brought it to my attention, or many someone's have brought it to my attention, or something that, I've just stumbled upon, but I've talked to people. It's not just something I'm dreaming up. So anything that I talk about, it's my words amplifying other people's words. All right. And it's my commentary about those things. So I want people to remember that. Seems like anytime I first start diving into a new community, the same thing always happens. And Kate knows exactly what I'm going to say. People start immediately sending me friend requests. They start checking out what's going on. They jump on, they start listening. Then probably a day or two in, then starts all the hate mail. People starts telling me what a piece of shit I am. I'm wrong. Everything I'm saying is bad. How dare I? I don't live in the community. You don't live here. You don't have a right to speak about this. If I had $1 for every time I've heard that, I would have $1,000 at least. So it is just what it is. I'm not going to go away. I'm not going to stop. You can like me. You can hate me. You can say that I'm a bad guy or a good guy. I don't care. I've got really thick skin. I do not care. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you dig up. I don't care what you think you know or what you think you don't know. I'm that stupid, I guess. I just keep beating my head in, and just keep going. I've not stopped at this point. I'm probably not going to. So it is what it is. So outside eyes and thoughts. Absolutely. That's exactly correct. 1000% correct, Fish. 100%. So tonight, I'm going to let you guys know, because we've got a little bit of a list what we're going to be talking about. So in this episode, kind of in this order, we get a little. It's a live broadcast, right? So things happen, things pop up, and we use a roadmap, but we're not like, stapled to it. Sometimes we change our minds and things happen and things come up, okay? So tonight we're going to be talking about the following events. We're going to be talking about so the other thing I want to tell the new listeners, because this is a political show and it's right for you to know. I have people that watch this that are regular old Republicans. I have people that watch this that are regular old Democrats. I have people that watch this that are as far right MAGA as possible. And I have people that watch this that are as progressive as possible. I have libertarians that watch this. I have people that used to be Democrats, but they don't like the Democrats now. People that used to be Republicans, but don't like the Republicans now. All makes and models watch this, okay? You can take what I say, believe it, don't believe it, whatever. No matter who you are out there, number one, I want you to listen to what I say. Hopefully, I want you to believe me, but I want you to go do your own research as well. Listen to what I got to say. At the end of the day, you'll find out that 99% of the time, I'm right. If I'm wrong about something, I will tell you that I'm wrong when I'm wrong. The other main thing is you will maybe agree with me a lot, maybe a little. The one thing that I'm certain of is nobody agrees with anybody 100% of the time. It just is. If you tell me you agree with me 100% of the time, you're lying. The flip side of that, nobody disagrees with anybody 100% of the time. Okay? If you tell me that you disagree with me or anyone else 100% of the time, you are lying. All right? People have the ability to change their mind. Absolutely, it happens, whatever. Okay, I don't even agree with myself 100% of the time. I reserve the right to change my mind, as do all of you. If you like something I say now, but you don't like something I say tomorrow, be an adult and deal with it. If you have to take some time away and not watch, that's fine. You don't need to tell me every time we disagree. You can, and I'm okay with that. But if you get butthurt about something, yeah, I mean, let me know if you like, but also just keep it yourself too. It don't matter. Either way, it's not going to prevent me from doing what I'm doing. I love to debate. I love to hear people tell me they agree with me. I also like people when they tell me they disagree with me. I don't care either way. We're fine, but it is what it is. So I believe that I am a conservative libertarian or a libertarian conservative, whichever way you want to spin it, whichever way works good for you. There are people that say I'm not Republican enough. There are people say that I'm not Democrat enough. There are people say that I'm too Republican and I'm too Democrat. So I feel like I'm probably doing something right. I believe in personal responsibility. Leave me the hell alone. I'll leave you the hell alone. And the only person and the only people I care about are politicians. If you are a public servant or you are a politician, if you are getting paid or you're volunteering to be a public servant in some form, I have a right to be up your ass just like every other citizen does. And that's the bottom line. So tonight we are talking about the bizarrely weird lieutenant governor. I'm not a fan of him, Micah Beckwith, and his town hall fiasco. Okay, that's on the list of items to talk about tonight. We are talking about Blackford County yet again. There's some more questions out of Blackford County, and it's a twofer. It's a two-parter. Yes, some of my topics and content tonight will be about the murder investigation, the murder case, and all of that. But then a part two will be about the BZA, the wind and solar fiasco that's going on up there too. The night that we talked about the first show, I was unaware of the fact that while we were talking, there was a BZA meeting going on, and all hell broke out at that meeting. The government didn't do right, and I'm putting everybody in the government of Blackford County on notice. You guys are definitely on the radar. You're under the spotlight. I am paying attention to you now. You guys screwed up the other night royally, and we're going to talk about it tonight and hopefully try to do better moving forward. So we're talking about that. Next up on the block is the Muncie Redevelopment Commission meeting. There was a Muncie Redevelopment Commission meeting today, and it was abnormally quick. The man that normally talks and babbles on, he was not there. I do not like that guy. I don't like what he does for the city government, but I will say we heard today that there's some kind of emergent situation in his family. So even though I don't like him, I will offer up my thoughts and prayers. I don't like the guy, but I don't want anything bad to happen to him or his family. Don't know what the situation is, but I will offer my thoughts and prayers to him and to his family, and I hope that's taken care of soon. Get back to work so I can crack on you and tell you how bad you are, whatever. Family stuff is different. I don't, it is what it is. So my thoughts and prayers with that guy. We will be talking about that. From there, we'll be talking about Henry County. Guess what, Henry County? Turns out everybody really did know. Like there wasn't anybody that didn't know. We'll be talking about that. Of course, what I'm talking about is the crazy sexual abuse situation and the lawsuits and the fact that everyone in government knew and everybody's guilty, and we'll be talking about that. From there, we will talk about the Madison County 2026 budget process. I have a clip that I want to show you that's just a few minutes long that I need to put up and I need to show you and get out there, so we will talk about that. So that's the topics. Someone's talking about the common market having trouble staying open. The common market guy, Mike Martin, went out and said some stuff. He was very bizarre in his remarks. He's like, hey, I need to rezone. It's going to cost me $20,000 to rezone. But he wouldn't tell anybody who's demanding this of him, $1,000 a day stuff. I've asked 2 or 3 times for him to be more forthcoming in what's going on, and he hasn't done it yet. So the way I look at it is I'm not going to go fishing for it. If he wants to come out and say what the situation is and there's a way that we can help, I will help him. But until he wants to, and I did read somewhere where they said, well, we want to let it play out first, and then if we have to close our doors, we'll deal with it. That seems a little backwards to me. Seems like you'd want to fight it before your doors close, but I can't fight him to do the right thing or to say what he wants to say, or if he's scared or what. I don't know what the deal is there. The problem is he's in a situation where the government is screwing with him, but he also wants to buddy with them. And so he's wanting his cake and eat it too, and you can't have it that way. I know for a long time they've been your buddy, but it seems like someone's doing you wrong, and you gotta come up with the put up or shut up time. So that's where we are there. I don't know what else to say. All right, so to get in it, first up, Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith town hall fiasco. So Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith has been doing this thing. He's been doing it since he's been in office, where he's been going to all 92 counties, and he's been holding a town hall. And the whole purpose of this is for him to kind of get the sense that he is Charlie Kirk. He is not doing the work of the government. He's not being the lieutenant governor and sitting in his office and doing the work. A lot of people say, well, yeah, he's getting out there and he's talking to us. But the point is, he's not really saying anything different. He's still campaigning. They won. Micah, you won. You're the lieutenant governor. Get to work. He still acts like he's out campaigning. And I have to say, everybody's all riled up. These people were arrested. I got to tell you, no one looked good in this thing. Nobody looked good, and everybody looked wrong, and it all looked stupid. And there were no winners. There were only losers last night in this thing. So, Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith, Indiana's Seth MacFarland, he was down in the very corner of the bottom of the state, down near Evansville. He was around Newburgh, Indiana. He was in Warwick County. And while he was doing this town hall, there were 2 arrests at the end of the event. And basically, what happened was there were some Warwick County Sheriff's deputies who ended up tackling a woman, and people are saying, like, that's okay, it's not okay, is it good, is it not good, what's happening, what's going on here? So instead of trying to decide if it what the deal is it good, is it bad, we might as well just take a look at it and determine what we see, what we think, what's going on. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to look at this video, and having been somebody that's been arrested at a government meeting for speaking, I'm going to tell you my thoughts about this. I was arrested while speaking in the Winchester, Indiana City Council in November of 2017. It was an unlawful and unjust arrest. I was taken to jail for disorderly conduct because I stood up and said, you're the ones that are out of order. I then left. I was not disrupting. I left. While I was leaving the building, I was slammed into the wall. I was handcuffed behind the back. I was taken to jail. The prosecutor's office declined to file charges in that case. I ended up filing a lawsuit, and I came out victorious in that lawsuit. So I'm not a First Amendment auditor. I consider myself a constitutional auditor. I don't go out and do all of the auditing stuff that they do. Okay? You'll never see me really doing that. But I do fight for the First Amendment, and so I'm a stickler for that. So we're going to look and see, is this the same thing that happened to me? And I'm going to let you know what's going on here. So here's this video. We can take a look at this. And I'm sure a lot of you've seen bits and pieces of this, but here's what the video looks like.
What you guys? I know who you are now. We're on TikTok.
Get your hands up. Everybody. It's always what happens when you disagree with Republicans. Get good pictures. That's really fucking tight, motherfucker. You're hurting me. You are hurting me.
Don't do it again.
Why is there a man sitting on me right now? Why is there a man sitting on me right now?
This is abuse of boundaries. You're violating the Constitution.
Get back.
You're violating the Constitution.
Get back.
How the fuck am I supposed to get up and have a goddamn hands? You always put your hands on it. Don't touch it,
Hey, you're going to go over your side, okay? All right, we're going to sit up.
He's doing violating the Constitution. You're violating the Constitution.
I was making that. Are you sorry? Right behind you. With his body. We got it on camera. It's over there. I'm coming. You
don't touch me. You get off me, sir. You don't put me up against the wall, sir.
Hey! You touched me once.
Hey!
What was that? What's happening here?
He was defending himself.
No, he's already touched me once. He already touched me. You advocate for that, sir?
I didn't see him touch me.
No.
Now that was wild. We'll talk about the woman here in a second. But what is this?
I didn't see him.
What happened here?
Hey!
You don't touch me. You get off me, sir. You don't put me up against the wall, sir.
Hey!
What's that guy? I mean, what is happening there?
Hey!
I'll be honest. We'll talk about the woman in a second, because the woman, the camera spins away from just a second, so you can't actually see a short second of it, and we'll come back and talk about it. I would like to see other video from it, but that grabbing of that guy there is way wild, because he didn't get aggressive. He didn't put hands on anybody else. He was yelling in somebody's face, which, don't yell in my face either, but no, they weren't fighting, or he was just saying words. That's crazy.
He pushed me against the wall. He was defending himself.
No, he's already touched me once. He already touched me. You advocate for that, sir?
I didn't see him touch me.
No.
Why? I'm giving her permission to say my word.
Hey guys, he escalated things.
I would love that. I would let her go. And let her go. It's hurt right now. She's so fucking tight. He's pulling me. Let her go.
Police brutality.
Let her go.
The Warren County Police like beating up on women.
No, throw yourself in the floor. Throw yourself in the floor.
All right, listen to me. Okay. Oh, God. Ugh! I don't like Beckwith. All right? I'm just going to be real honest. I don't like Beckwith for a lot of reasons. He turned out to be a turd. He's not what he ran on. He's not who he was supposed to be. He's not doing to Braun what he's supposed to be doing. He's out here running a freak show. When you're out specifically running the freak show, you can't get crazy because the freaks show up. When you're out here pushing the freak show, you can't get crazy because the freaks show up, man. So, first and foremost, you can't see what happens with the girl, because the girl's walking away and she's yelling. And then the cop comes up behind her and she says something like, "Get off of me," or "Get away from me." And the camera cuts away a little bit. Now, I'm going to tell you, there are some in the audience and there are some journalists that have said at that point, she slapped the cop. And I'm going to tell you, if she touched the cop at that point, all right, if she slapped the cop or touched the cop in a rude, insolent manner, she's going to jail for battery. Okay, let's not worry about the First Amendment at that moment. She's going to jail for battery. Okay, that's what's happening there. I don't know if she touched the cop or not. I got to get video of that. Maybe we'll see that here in a minute. We got other videos to watch. But in the video there, which is the longest video that I've been able to see so far, it looks like that might have been what happened, but I can't say that for 100%. But let's say, for the sake of argument, that didn't happen. Let's say she didn't touch him. Let's say they're removing her and they go hands-on. Okay? If it was just they were throwing her out because she was being loud, I don't know that the tackling, I don't know even if she slapped or pushed him, I don't know that the tackle was worth it or it needed to happen. Okay, I think that might have been a bit much, just being a man to a woman. And listen, I'm going to be honest, as a bigger man, she's a bigger woman. Okay, but I still don't think that she needed to be thrown to the ground and tackled like that. That being said, no matter what the situation is, once they've got you in handcuffs and you're going out the door and they're putting you in your car against your will or whatever, there's not really any point to just be screaming and hollering and carrying on. Just make it easy at that point and fight the fight. Fight the fight from that point forward, not while it's happening, because I wouldn't want them to slam me or slam her anymore or slam anybody else. I think that's wildly out of line for them to, nobody needs to get hurt. This is all politics. And Tweety Bird, I'm not specific. I'm talking about the whole thing being a freak show. I'm talking about the people there that are crazed from the right, because there are people there on the right that are crazed. And I know that you won't buy it. I know because only in your mind, only people on the right do wrong. But there are people there on the left that are doing things that are questionable. All right. I know that you don't buy it. I know it. I understand it. But in the real world, there are people on both sides there that are just making things more crazy than need to be. All right. Stop the chaos for a second. You're just feeding into what he wants. You're feeding into what they want. Stop for a minute. Stop and think. Yeah, none of that should have been happening. And as far as the guy that got grabbed up, I don't know what the woman did. I don't know if she actually went hands-on with the cop or not. But the man, dude, he did nothing. He's yelling. But then the blonde-haired cop, also a big dude, came over and ripped him away and slams him into a wall. And that's wild. Both of those things are wild. Now, what really scares me here is this happened last night. And the prosecutor's office has already picked up formal charges against these people. They're now charged formally in this mess. And this is something that I'm seeing today. And I'm seeing it out of Republican prosecutors, and I'm seeing it out of Democrat prosecutors. Okay? Those Tweety Bird, it's not as conspiratorial as that. Those cops don't think about Trump. Those cops have nothing to do with Trump. This has nothing to do with Trump. This has to do with this situation being hopped up and carrying on. This chaos and craziness was going on a year ago too, and Trump wasn't in office a year ago. These cops nationwide need better understanding of constitutional rights. Constitutional rights nationwide before and after Trump, okay? But the bottom line here is, what really worries me is back when I was arrested in 2017, there were 2 prosecutors involved in that case. There was the initial prosecutor that looked at the case and said he was going to turn it over to a special prosecutor. And both of those prosecutors made the same determination. Both of those prosecutors said this was an unlawful, unjust arrest. Their goal was not to protect the police. It was to protect the constitutionality of what was going on. And they said that in that instance, I was able to speak and that I was arrested for my speech, and that was illegal. And they made that determination. what I'm seeing at all of these events is it's like the prosecutors are stepping up to make it look good on these political figures, and they're not worrying about what's actually happening. And to me, that's really scary. That's not a good thing, because we don't have people that are doing we don't have prosecutors that are looking at this stuff in a way that's like, okay, we're going to follow the law here. They are purposefully going above and beyond so they can, help out the police officers that were there that made it, or so they can make it look good for Beckwith or whatever political official that was there. Okay. The arrested individuals, okay, are Amanda Bennett and Matthew Ike, and they have been arrested, and they both have been released. Okay. Online court records show that Bennett is charged with battery against a public safety official. So they are saying that at some point she went hands-on with the cop. They're saying the female went hands-on with the cop. Okay. That's the thing. They're saying that she's also charged with resisting law enforcement. And I'm going to tell you where she got charged with resisting law enforcement. As they're dragging her out the door and she's planting her feet and pulling away, that's resisting. That's resisting. I'm telling you, if you're ever at a place, if you're ever at a city council meeting, you're ever at a public place, and for some reason the police go hands-on with you, don't fight it. Don't fight it. You can tell them, hey, you're violating my constitutional rights. You can even be verbally loud, but don't fight, don't pull back, don't resist. Go with them. It's like in Madison County when I stood in that meeting at, just last year and told them, hey, I'm not leaving. I'm not resisting. I put my hands forward and I said, I'm not resisting, but I'm not leaving. You're going to have to pull me out of here or drag me out of here. I'm not leaving. Now, as they pushed, I let them push me. I didn't put my feet down and stop them. That's the reason I was not charged with resisting. If I would have plugged my feet down and I would have, bulled down on them, I would have been charged with resisting, and that's now a mountain you got to fight over. If they're giving you a constitutional violation, take it and deal with it. Don't deal with it on the flip side. You will win. It's winnable. Even if the prosecutor charges you. What's going to be hard here is this deal where they're saying that she's hit him. Now, I am hoping that they are going to release the body cam footage, and I'm hoping that it shows her, in fact, hitting him. If she's touched him, if she put her hands on him, I would say the arrest was excessive and he needs to be retrained there. But if she slapped him, I'm going to piss some of you off. If she slapped him, the arrest is good. You're not going to like me saying that, but if she slapped him, the arrest is good. Now, okay, we're going to see another bit of footage from kind of the same area, but it was a little bit further back. And in this, it looks like it is. And yes, Prescott's bill that he put forward last year or the year before, 2 years ago, 1338, I believe, was designed to squelch dissent and things like that. Now, I'll be honest, I don't believe that bill holds in situations like this. I think that's only in government meetings, city council meetings, county commissioners meetings, county council meetings, things like this. That JD's bill does not have any bearing in a position like this, but it puts the seed in people's minds. JD's bill was a very dangerous bill. And it's got the prosecutors all hopped up. It's got the cops all hopped up. And it's got the elected officials all hopped up. And it's not good across the board. All right, we're going to look at this thing right here. And we're going to see if we can see if she swings on him.
Yeah, hey there, Tim. So this is the moment that Amanda Bennett was arrested inside the Ohio Township Trustee's office in Newburgh. Her friend, Matt Ike, was arrested just a few minutes after. People have different accounts of what led up to and what happened after.
Villainize them. You criminalize them, and then you come here smiling, pretending you're the good guy because you showed up.
That's Christina Bickle Wednesday night at the town hall. She's one of about 30 people lined up to speak to Beckwith. She and a few others have been to several Beckwith town halls, and the environment is...
Okay, she's walking out. I mean, I like what the lady's saying here. But I don't care at the moment. I want to see what happens.
typically heated.
Okay. I honestly don't know why the officer's following her. She's leaving. So the fact that he's following her is, I want to know why he's following her, because she's leaving. Now, okay. She turns around and she puts her hands up and she yells at him. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Moments after Bickle...
Okay. It does look like she hit right there. I'm just going to be honest with you.
Shared her thoughts.
It did look like she hit at him.
Moments after Bickle shared her thoughts, she was watching her friend, Amanda Bennett, get arrested. People there tell me Bennett and Beckwith had exchanged several shouts throughout the night. After a few warnings, authorities told her she needed to leave or she would be removed.
What happens when you disagree with Republicans?
She was leaving peacefully. I have it on video, her leaving peacefully. And then at some point she gets to the back of the room. Another cop comes down the side of the aisle and at an intersection with her as she's trying to come around the back and literally just tackles her.
And she ran into the sheriff. It's on video. In my mind, she assaulted him.
Ken Colbert, a Beckwith supporter, captured this side of the video. He says people came to the event with plans to get arrested. Bickle says that's not the case. Kelly Moore, who is also a friend of Bennett's, captured this video.
I saw her hands and arms turning purple because of how the cuffs were put on.
You get off me, sir.
I saw Matt telling them to loosen the cuffs so that she could move her hands.
That's Matt Ike in the video. He was also arrested. Both Bennett and Ike were taken to the Worth County Jail and both bonded out this afternoon. Bennett is charged with battery against a public safety official.
All right. So here's the deal. They'll release... All of these news stations will fight for the body camera. I'll send an email down for the body camera. I'd say they have to release it. This is going to be a major ordeal. We'll see what happens. So I'll leave the question mark there. I don't like what they did to her. I don't like what was done to her. If she hit at him, I'm not saying she touched him. I'm not saying she was like, hey, how are you? If she hit at him, the arrest is good. I'm just going to tell you that's my opinion. You might not like it. You might not agree. Just my opinion. If she swatted at him, if she swatted at him, she's in trouble. If she didn't, then it's another story. The guy, I think that he's in the clear. 100%. 100%. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. With the guy is in the clear 100%, Tweety Bird. Yeah, you can see 100% what happens there. So I don't have, that's golden. So this is it. The interesting thing about this was hold on a second. So I'll tell you, the other thing that's really interesting is what people claim happened to Beckwith while this was going on. So apparently, once the police action started, Beckwith was like hustled out of the room, like knocking down people, getting out of there, and somebody sent in a video of what it looked like with Beckwith getting out of there. And I've got official video of Beckwith leaving the town hall right after this police action started. So bear with me here, and we'll let you see what Beckwith what happened with Beckwith. This is after this police action started. Here's Beckwith being whisked out of there. Whatever happened.
I think I smell some smoke back here.
Knocking down women and children, old people, cripples. Beckwith was out of harm's way and was safe to continue on in his many ways. So I haven't actually got video. I'm waiting to see. I know someone that has it, so I hope to get it and hope to see what really happened there. But it's interesting because then he goes on talking about it, and he posts about it, and just makes it a real like big freak show. You know, I don't like the whole thing. He needs to stop doing these things. He needs to be sitting his ass at his desk, doing the work for the people, and shutting up. You know, like, get to work, man. Answer your emails. Go out and do an event, you know, maybe once or twice a year. But other than that, this thing of just hyping the crowd up and hyping people up for no real reason, just to do it because you get off on this, it's everybody's over it, man. What's going to happen? Are we wanting someone to get hurt? Is that what the case is? Ooh, let's look at this video footage. Hold on. Let's see what happens here.
Then, Micah.
Still, it doesn't show you. Just right before. No, man, I don't know. I can't wait to see this cop's body camera, because right here, it's like full on over her back, like arm full over her back. I got to see the body camera. This looks bad.
Aurora County Town Hall with Indiana Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith erupts into chaos tonight,
with at least one person taken down and restrained by law enforcement.
Thank you for joining.
Well, I'll file a record request tomorrow. I know everybody else and their brother's doing it. I'll do the same thing. That video looked bad. So we'll see what happens. I'll reserve the rest of my commentary until seeing the body camera footage. If somebody else out there sees this, send it to me immediately. You know how to do it. Get a hold of me. Get that to me. If you see it before even if you don't know if I've seen it, if you see body camera footage of this on the news, or you see video footage, because there's a lot of people that have cameras out, so it's got to be out there. I want to see what happens right before the tackle, because so far we can't see it. There's a frame missing in every video that I've seen, but somebody's got it. All right. Without further ado, Oh my God. Kate. The stuff that goes on behind the scenes that you guys just unfortunately look. Hey, I'm doing the show for you. I've got to have some of my own secret personal enjoyment, and the chaos that Kate has going on sometimes is amazing. All right, so man, I don't think he'll be able to do that. I think they're going to have to release it because of how hot such a hot button issue this is. Okay. All right. So moving on to Blackford County. I know there's a lot of people from Blackford County that's wanting to know like what's going on, what's all this new stuff about. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've got some new information for everyone. And do you remember how I said that if I'm wrong, I will admit that I'm wrong? Remember me telling you that? Well, I will say to you that even in a situation where I might not necessarily be wrong, okay? I might not necessarily be wrong, but if something that I do causes someone else to be wrong, now I'm not always going to apologize for that. It just depends. But in this specific situation, I think I'm going to apologize. So I want to clarify this, and something I want to tell you guys. For the new people watching, I don't delete comments. We don't delete comments here. I believe in the First Amendment. I don't delete comments on my Facebook. I don't delete comments on X. I don't delete comments. The only time we remove a comment here is if it's spam from like a bot. We get those sometimes. All YouTube's do, and Kate gets them out of here like a bouncer. Or if someone is like sexually violent, threatening, saying things, we'll take care of that. But outside of that, name calling, saying different things, whatever. Okay. I don't mess around with that. Well, I deleted a comment this morning on the video from Tuesday, on Tuesday's video. And the reason I did that was because the comment said something so wildly egregious, and it was allowing people to have the wrong information, and I didn't want that to be spurred on by the show. So speaking about the murder investigation in Blackford County, there has been a theory that the reason this has been so blundered has been because someone connected to law enforcement was at the party. Someone connected to law enforcement knew about the party, like was connected to it somehow, was in attendance. Someone from either the prosecutor's office or the Hartford City Police Department or the the Blackford County Sheriff's Department, something like that. And there have been people talking about like, well, maybe somebody's kid was there, something like this or that. Somebody made the comment that the prosecutor's kid or kids were there. And through sources and through my own research, I am aware that the prosecutor has children who are not that age. Way young. Too young to be there. Meaning like young children. Under teenage years. Younger than teenage years. So I did delete that comment because I did not want to continue to allow that belief to circulate. If this prosecutor is wrong, if this prosecutor's doing something wrong, I will be up her ass. I will be on her, and we will not stop until the people of Blackford County unelect her, until she resigns or whatever. Whatever needs to happen. If she is in the wrong, we will bring that to you. But I'm not going to persecute her on crap that's not right. And I'm not going to call her out. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be really clear about this. I have since Tuesday received a bunch of information that have stated that it might not even be the prosecutor's office that is at fault here, that this is specifically with the gag order and hiding of the records and yada yada yada. I'm hearing from sources that this is just standard operating procedure in Blackford County, because for some unknown reason, this small county, Blackford County, is the 4th smallest county in Indiana. And for some unknown reason, they feel like when they have something go on here, it's like the first time it's ever happened. It's the end all be all. And again, I'm not knocking the victim in this case. Okay. I'm not trying to hurt his family when I say this, but if you put this case in Muncie, if you put this case in Madison County, in Marion County, in Allen County, hell, even Henry County, more than likely, none of this crap's going to be happening. None of this stuff would be happening. There would be no gag order. There would be nothing. They would seal the probable cause until the arrest was made, but after that, it would be released. So I don't know if you recall me saying or not the other day that this was like all locked down. You can't find this in Docs Pops. You can't find this anywhere. It's nowhere to be found. You can't find this on my case. This case did not exist. Well, that has since changed. This case now exists. And anybody out there, I'm going to show you, anyone out there can look this up, and you can see this for yourself, and you can find everything that I'm getting ready to show you. And I'm going to show you how, and I'm going to do that right here. So let me put this up here on the screen for you. So if you go to my case, this is my case. And you don't go to name or attorney, go to hit in case, search by case. And then you enter in, Kate just put it up on the screen there. You enter in 05C as in Charlie, or C as in circuit court, 05C01 -2507 -M as in Mary, R as in Robert, and then I'm going to take out the zeros and then just do -259, just like that. And you come down to search. It will then pop up on the screen, State of Indiana versus Deontay Gabbard. Okay. If you click on this, it will take you to the case. Now we can go down and we can explore this together. Deontay was charged in Circuit Court 1, charged with murder is the highest charge. It was filed on 7/17. Now he was not arrested until August 5th. He was arrested on August 5th. So they knew it was him, and they filed the paperwork and the probable cause. And so they sealed it. It was sealed back then because you wouldn't want people knowing, hey, you're wanted. You know, you want to give him the false sense of security. Okay. So you see here where he's got some co-defendants. Now, what's interesting about this is it says he's got 2 co-defendants. Okay. 05C01 2507 F5 245 and the same number 5D01 2508 F6 297. Okay, so he's got 2 co-defendants. What blows me away here is they have announced that they've arrested 12 people in connection with this. So where are the other 9 defendants? He should have a total of 11 other defendants. He's only got 2 co-defendants. Okay. So number one, that's interesting. Now, like we were assuming the other night, and we were probably really correct here, is there were people probably arrested on warrant. Like they, in this case, they rolled up to somebody, they were talking to somebody, they ran him, and guess what? He was wanted on a warrant, so they arrested him. I don't count that as being arrested in connection with this case. And I think they were padding their numbers, for one thing. So that's just me talking, whatever, okay? So it shows you he was charged with murder, unlawful possession of a firearm by a serious violent felon, intimidation, where defendant draws or uses a deadly weapon, pointing a firearm at another, okay? And so looking down through this, okay, see where the information was filed. That's and the probable cause affidavit was filed 7/17/25. That's when they said that we know it's him, and they filed getting the warrant. So then there was an order granting motion to seal public records. So the prosecutor's office asked that, and Judge Body did this, or someone in his court did it, a master commissioner or something. I've heard that Body takes off almost the entire summer, which is wild to me. If you've got a judge up here that's taking off an entire summer and is not there a lot, that's a problem. That's something that the citizens of Blackford County should be looking at. Okay? Whatever. So then we come down here and we see boom, 8/6/25, hearing scheduled. That's because he was arrested on 8/5. So now they've got to have a preliminary hearing. So they've got this. They've got that there. Okay. So they've got him here, and that's that. All right. Now, we come down here to motion to amend, count 5. Motion for order prohibiting release of information. Okay. State's motion requesting PO governing discovery, meaning once the defense gets discovery, they don't want the defense team releasing discovery out. This is real wild stuff. This does not happen in random cases, just normal cases like this. Doesn't happen here in Delaware County. Doesn't happen in Madison. It just happens. Apparently just happens in Blackford County. Whatever you got going on up there, it's weird. Okay. What's strange to me is, really strange, is on 8/12/25, the prosecutor's office filed a motion to unseal the public records. So they filed a motion to unseal the records. And the judge, he didn't do it right away. I guess because he was off. I don't know what he was doing. He didn't sign that all the way until yesterday. He signed the order granting a motion to unseal the public records yesterday. But what you guys don't know is Tuesday, I do the show. Wednesday, yesterday, I call the Blackford County Prosecutor's Office, and however long I say I will not do this, I did it yet again. I called when I was in a position where I could not record the phone call. So I call, ring, 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 ring. I answer. I know I could beat myself for this. Prosecutor's office answers. It's a woman speaking. I say, hello. Thank you for taking my call. I'm wanting to see if I can speak to Jolie Freiberger. And the receptionist says, that's Joella. It's Joella. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I kind of a funny name, and I'm dumb. I apologize. But the woman instantly had an attitude, like was mad at me from start because I said her name wrong. I was like, well, may I speak to Joella Freiberger? No, she cannot speak to you. I said, well, I know that you can't talk to defendants, and I'm not a defendant, so I want to be sure that you're aware I'm not a defendant. I'm wanting to get some information pertaining to the case involving the murder of Mike Norris. We're not going to talk to you. We can't talk to you. I was like, okay, well, so I'm just trying to figure out what I need to do. I'm wanting to try to get copies of the PC sheet and the charging information. You're not going to get that. We will not release that to you. Okay. We don't release that. I said, okay, well, I said, everywhere outside of your county, I've gotten these from prosecutors, and I've gotten them from the sheriffs, and I've gotten them from clerks. So I don't care which one of you gives me this. She says, you're not going to get that. And I said, well, see, the problem we're in is I said, I am aware of the gag order. But I said, and you're exactly right, Stumblefoot, that's exactly what it's like. Every time, man. Every time, everywhere. So I say, I'm trying to be nice. I'm like, well, I've got a problem with this because someone in Blackford County has already given it to a media organization, and you can't pick and choose who you give it to. And I said, I can show you. And she was like, whoever it is did not get it from us. And I said, no, I didn't say they got it from you. I'm saying they got it from Blackford County. And she said, I'm telling you, they did not get it from Blackford County. I said, well, I don't know who else would have given it to them, who else would have had access to it, but they got it from someone. And I said, all of a sudden, I'm like, wait a minute, wait. In my mind, I'm thinking, as I say this, why am I arguing with the receptionist? So I said, can I please speak to the chief deputy? To which she says, that person's not in. And I said, well, can I please speak to your supervisor? To which she says, I am capable of making this decision. Now, I don't know how Blackford County does this. Maybe they have prosecutors and the deputy prosecutors answering the phones. Maybe they do. And maybe that girl's right. She would not tell me her name. I asked her name. I asked her name 3 or 4 times. She would not tell me. And then she hung up on me. After she hung up on me, I called. Let me tell you when I called yesterday. Okay. The first time I called was 14:33. I called at 2:33 yesterday. 2:33. After she hung up on me, the Blackford County Prosecutor's Office did not answer the phone for the rest of the afternoon. I called multiple times with multiple numbers, and they just simply didn't answer the phone the rest of the afternoon. So, see, this is the problem we start to have. This is why I always say the cover-up is worse than the crime. Because it's like, at first, it's a crime that's kind of like some shit got fumbled on. And there were some dumb mistakes that were made. All because there's a pissing match. I'm gonna say some. We're gonna talk real serious here. I'm gonna tell you what I'm hearing from sources. Okay, I'm gonna just call it out to you straight. One of the biggest pissing matches going on right now is between the coroner's office and the Hartford City Police Department, the coroner's office, and the Blackford County Sheriff's Department. And I guess the coroner's office and the prosecutor's office. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking, I don't understand. Why? I know the coroner. I know of the coroner. We're not best friends or anything, but I knew when he was a deputy coroner down here in Delaware County. Thought he was a pretty good dude. Thought he was well trained. Thought he knew what he was doing. Imagine my surprise yesterday, and then again today, some more. And look, I hope this guy's not mad at me, but I gotta call. I'm gonna go where it takes me. Okay. So the elected prosecutor, man, I don't know if I should do this or not. I gotta talk to people before I do it. I gotta find out this. There's a reason that some people in the law enforcement community in Blackford County don't like the coroner. And the reason that they don't like the coroner is a completely out of control bullshit reason. Nonsensical, out of this world, would blow your mind. If I can't tell you the real reason, I need to get clearance before I bust it open. Okay, never mind. I can do it. I just got clearance. So here's the deal. There are people in the law enforcement community in Blackford County that do not like the elected coroner in Blackford County because he is a gay man. Dun, dun, dun. Oh my God, it's 2025. There's a gay man in Indiana. What? Now listen, I've known this guy for a long time. Known of him. I didn't know that until yesterday. I didn't know that. I had no clue. I don't care one bit. I do not care what this guy, I don't care what kind of dog he likes or what kind of cat, if he likes dogs or cats. I don't care who his favorite sports team is. I don't care if he likes McDonald's or Burger King. I don't care about any of that. I certainly don't care who he's attracted to, who he sleeps with, or what. That has nothing to do with anything. But apparently, in backwards ass, fourth smallest county in Indiana, Blackford County, the fact that an elected official that people in the county elected to do a damn job has a preference different than some of these other people in law enforcement, they don't like him because he's gay. And apparently there's been these pissing matches back and forth. Not anything negative from the coroner, but there have been people that have made his life hard, made his job hard there for no reason. And so when I found this out yesterday, and then I heard it from more people today, I'm like, that's what this is about? Like, that's laughable. I mean, it's not, it's gross. It's stupid. I mean, we're talking about like actual, like, we're talking about real, like someone was killed here. And we're talking about the possibility of screwing that up for a man that lost his life, or for a family who lost a loved one, because some chief of police doesn't like, some sheriff doesn't like, some life choice of the coroner. Stumblefoot. He probably rejected them. Oh, God. Thank you for the $20, Stumblefoot. Anywho, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that other than to say that's bullshit. Shame on the Hartford City Police Department. Shame on the Sheriff's Department. Shame on the prosecutor's office. Shame on anybody that's caught up about it. You know what? And here's the deal. I'm not going to say they have to like it. They don't have to like it. They can say it's an abomination or whatever they want to say. But by God, they've got to work with him, and they can't screw with other people's lives because of it. All right? You got to be professional. You got to be professional. Okay? So I find this out, and I'm like, all this is going on. So now all of this stupid stuff is happening because they don't like him for something stupid. And now I literally am on the phone trying to call the prosecutor's office. What if there were actual victims also calling the prosecutor's office yesterday? Did they just take the rest of the afternoon off because Christopher Bilbrrey called them? What are they going to do when I show up there? Arrest me? Beat me? Probably. Won't be the first time. Okay. So today I issued a complaint to the public access counselor based off of this. And yeah, right, Admiral Eric. So I issued a complaint. I talked with my attorney, and we're gonna get this. Now, I also done something different because they did release the ban. That's the reason we can now see the case on my case. That's the reason we see it now. They did do this. But what's really crazy to me is the judge signed off on the order granting the motion to unseal the public records on the 20th, but yet he still signed the gag order on the 12th. Now, let me be clear, and I'm going to be talking right now to Sheriff Heflin or whatever. I told your secret. Now you're not going to like me or whatever. Okay, big deal. You're a bigot. It is what it is. It's not a big deal. You're just, just admit it and let's get back to work. Okay? The gag order, Sheriff, means you cannot convey information about the case ongoing case to me. It has nothing to do with public records. And the probable cause affidavit and the charging information of everyone arrested in connection with this case is public document. And you have to give it to me. So just email it to me. They filed a motion to seal it, and it was signed on the 12th. That's the same day they filed a motion to unseal. So they filed a motion to unseal the record, because the record was sealed because they had a warrant for a guy, but they hadn't had him in custody yet. So they didn't want him to get wind of it, which that's okay. I'm okay with that. But then the same day that they filed to unseal the court record, they also, yeah, right, William. They also filed a gag order, and the judge signed it on the 12th, but it took him until the 20th to unseal the records, which is wild to me. So that's kind of what's going on here. So I filed a public access counselor complaint. I have my attorney in gear, and we're going to do what we got to do. I did file a records request with the Blackford County Clerk's Office. Now, I don't know if the clerk's office are bigots. I'm not gay. I'm not black. I'm just an American, and I'm here. So don't hate me. Don't hate anybody, but give me some records. We'll see if they answer my request. We'll see if they comply. But I only ask them for the probable cause for 2 cause numbers. I have a third that I will ask them tomorrow, but that's still only 3 cause numbers. We're still down 9 arrests, 9 suspects. And that is a concern. That is a real concern. The reason that probable cause affidavits and charging information are normally turned over is because the court record is public record. We don't just arrest people and throw them into dark holes places and charge them, and no one ever knows, and they're held indefinitely and nobody knows. We still don't know the names of the people they've alleged to have picked up. This could be a possible serious constitutional issue. Absolutely, Kate. Habeas corpus. This is a problem. So what they did up in Delphi was they filed a public access counselor complaint, and then they filed suit. So I'm going to do the same thing. And I can promise you this. I give you my promise. They will give me the probable cause affidavits and the charging information. They will give it to me, and they will give it to me sooner than they want. And listen, the judges up here, they're elected officials too. And I know they're big and powerful people. Okay? And I know that there's been some questionable things go on. And I know that there's been judges that have set over cases and people who've been before their court who they've had some very strange dealings with. And people have got sent away. So this is like someplace I'm going to be real careful with. Because I don't need them like planting something on me and sending me away for like 8 years or whatever. I'm going to make an announcement right now. I'm not currently suicidal. I am not currently dealing or using narcotics. I'm not currently transporting narcotics. I have never had coke, methamphetamine, or whatever on my possession. In any way other than when I was in law enforcement.
Just the occasional shroom.
Yeah, right. Well, and you'll never catch me with that. That being said, this is gonna, I don't know, we'll see what goes on here. Okay. Now, before we move on to the next topic, I do want to say the other really quick Blackford County topic is this Blackford County situation with the BZA, with the Plan Commission, with their commissioners, the council, and the solar and the wind. They're dealing with this same thing. Okay, they're dealing with. Let me find this. Who would have it? Oh, right here. I'll do it like this. Give me a second here. I'm sending some documents. To me. So to the person that just said it's possible they haven't filed the other 12 cases yet, all 12 of them, listen, there ain't no 12 people related to this murder like that. It's some kind of weird deal. It is possible they haven't filed them. I just don't believe that. From what I've heard from the sources before the gag went in place, the case was over. Everything was done. That is a possibility. That is possibility. That is a possibility. Okay, hold on here. Let me send this to. Okay, this is going to be hard to see. Oh, no, I'll do it like this. All right, give me 1 second. Okay, so here's this. It's still going to be hard to see. Anyways, this was people that were trying to meet inside the Blackford County Courthouse, the BZA meeting. They said it's getting hot. Courthouse is packed full. Hundreds of local citizens patiently wait outside, eager to share speeches in opposition to these massive solar and wind. Da-da-da-da-da. Okay. Let me tell you what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that they locked citizens out of this meeting, which is an open door violation. So it sounds like Blackford County, in dealing with this murder deal and dealing with all other forms of government, really have a problem with open door laws, the public access laws. So we're going to talk to the public access counselor. We're going to find out what's going on here. I'm going to be at their next meeting next month. We're going to see what's going on. If they are locking citizens out, if they are having meetings where 200, 300, 400 citizens are showing up, they need to start setting these inside the high schools or someplace else where all the citizens can attend. They need to make it to where people, and I get it. I'm sure it was a fire code. I'm sure there was fire code. They need to be aware and that this is a hot button issue, and they need to meet the citizens where they're at, meaning have it at the high school. Have it at the high school. Elevator was broke, so they could not get to the 3rd floor. Yeah, this is all crazy excuses. So next time your Blackford County is going to have a meeting of this with this issue, and they know that this large of a crowd is possible, they need to make other arrangements. It happens in governments all the time. Meet the public where they are, and don't do it in a room that only holds 300 or 30 people. You know what I mean? Do it at the high school gymnasium. Do it out in the middle of the park. Make sure that the public can be aware and that, that's happening. Okay, well, how many were waiting outside? How many didn't get into the building? I mean, I look, I've got pictures of listen, are there 80 people outside? If there are 80 people outside, that's not okay. If there are 100 people, it's not okay. If one person can't get into a government meeting, that's a problem. So I'm just saying, for anybody to assume that this is not going to be a well-attended meeting or a hot button issue, where it's been a hot button issue all over the state of Indiana, everywhere this happens, that's the thing. Now, I let me ask you, is there let me see here. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, so that's, I appreciate you saying that. I very much appreciate you saying that. You're right. They knew the elevator was broke, probably should have rescheduled. That I can appreciate that. I can appreciate you saying that. And look, the bottom line is, I don't have a dog in a fight there. I didn't want industrial solar in my neck of the woods for various reasons, and the citizens here didn't want it either. Maybe it's a good fit for you guys. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I just know that everybody that wants to have an opinion needs to be able to give their opinion. Everybody pro, everybody against. And they need to not have any funny business of locking people out, having people out, not letting people in. That, just do it right. Look, it's not every meeting that it's the biggest issue of a 30-year period. You know what I mean? There's no auditorium here. There's not a Blackford. You don't have a high school there? Oh, I got to get this picture on my face. What am I doing? You got to have a high school gymnasium. Surely to God. I've not been to Blackford County in a minute, but you guys have to have a school of some sort up there, I guess. Although some of what I've been hearing last couple of days, I would be shocked. I get, maybe I wouldn't be so shocked, I guess. But certainly you guys have to have a yes, but no auditorium. Okay, so no auditorium, but Admiral Eric says yes, they have a very nice high school gym and a good football field. So you could, the meeting could be held inside the gymnasium. You know, I'm just saying, surely there's a way this could be figured out. That's all. That's all. Have it at the county building and have people on every floor of the county building and put TVs up and monitors and whatever. You just got to meet. Here's the deal. You just got to meet the public where they are. That's all I'm saying. So I'm going to be looking into this. This is way early on. I know you guys have been dealing with this. My bottom line is I just don't want anybody to be violated and not be able to participate. And if that's happening, it's a problem. We got to call people to attention to it. If it isn't happening, great, can carry on. But it seems like it is. So, you know, that's that. Okay. I will have more on Blackford County as things continue to happen. I will keep you posted. If you're from Blackford County and you want to follow what goes on, stay connected to my social media, which is YouTube, obviously, you know, here, but stay connected to Facebook and to oops, we keep doing the same. Oh, I was trying to get rid of that thing. This thing. Keep connecting, keep following on Facebook and Twitter. I'll post it. Some of your people have allowed me to post in the Blackford County groups. I will only post things related to Blackford County if there. So if you see it posted, that's what you'll know. I normally post the day of, and so you guys can stay posted there. I will let you know. Basically, I just have to wait till stuff happens. I might get information tomorrow. It might be a week. You know, you never know. But I will keep you guys posted, and I will post there. So you'll have to follow along. The other thing you need to do is subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you subscribe, it does not cost you anything to do it. You subscribe for exactly free. Click the bell, and you'll get notified when we go live. We go live 5 nights a week, Sunday through Thursday, and we're normally off Friday and Saturday. It's very easy. We're off Friday, Saturday. We start the Sunday night before Monday because we start the night before the week starts, talking about the week coming in. Then we're live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night, and we're off Friday night, Saturday night. So that's the deal there. Yeah. You like it, Fish. I don't even know who you are. Do I know who you are, Fish? I don't know if I know who you are or not. Courtroom would have worked, again rescheduled. Yeah, that's true. That would have been good. Hopefully that's something that people will look into in the future. Okay, really quickly, I want to go on to the Muncie Redevelopment Commission, and this is important. The Muncie Redevelopment Commission. Normally, this is a really crazy, long, drawn-out, nonsensical deal. It's not going to be like that tonight. We're going to listen to the very beginning, and we're going to listen to the very end. Nothing else matters throughout. Yeah, there's important stuff that matters, but it's not like, you know what I mean. So let's take a listen to what goes on here, and let me tell you what my issues are in this meeting. Citizens of Muncie.
Of here and Mr. Dale, the August 21st.
Here we go.
Good morning. Welcome to the August 21st, 2025 meeting of the Muncie Redevelopment Commission. I will call this meeting to order. And we will start with roll call. Mr. Bishop? Here. Mr. Dale? Present. Mr. Miller, I am here. Mr. Pabella is absent today. Ms. Wagley? Here. And Mr. Lowe? Hello, thank you. Looking over our agenda, Mr. Howe is absent today. He had a family emergency he had to take care of. So please send your good thoughts.
Oh.
I would suggest that we amend the agenda to remove the financial and city updates. So that's items -1 and -2 under item 6. And then we can keep the property transfers for discussion. So that would be my motion, that we just eliminate those 2 items that are normally from Jeff.
Second.
Okay. Go ahead and take roll. Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Dale?
Yep.
Mr. Miller, yes. And Ms. Wagley?
Yes.
Move on to the previous meeting memoranda. You all should have a copy of that in your packets today.
Motion to amend the memoranda to indicate that I was present at the last meeting.
I will second that motion. Is there any further discussion?
Yeah, I've got 5 items I'd like to mention that are not either correct or included.
Listen.
The first one is that under 620 North Walnut Street, says the deal is nearing for this MRC-owned property. But Jeff Howe was very clear that the property is not owned by the city nor the MRC. Well, he said the city, but it's actually owned by the greater Muncie Economic Development Corporation. So that's just the line that the MRC owns the property is not correct.
Okay, that's a pretty big issue. He's reading from minutes, and understand, if you've watched this, if you've been here for a long time, he does this every month. Every month he points out major issues that are not in the minutes, and every month they completely just say, we don't give a shit, transparency doesn't matter, we don't care what you want to do, we look right over you. And they vote to keep them as they are, and it doesn't matter, but at least he continues fighting the good fight. So that's issue number 1. They put something in here that wasn't correct, but he's like, wait a minute, these aren't correct. You put something in here that's just totally not true. Issue number 1.
Second, under Muncie home price growth, a bullet that should be under that is that President Miller, you asked if all MRC financial commitments are satisfied for the skate park, and Hal said yes. It's just not noted here. It's a notable item. I asked about an update on Till Pond. Hal made
I'll tell you about that in a second, Tweety.
remarks. And then Commissioner Wagley stated that the contract was awarded and the work has started. I'm not sure if that's accurate, but it was stated. Number 3, there's just a small misspelling. Facade Gant is facade grant. Number 4, under public comment, it doesn't note who asked the questions about a Ball State stalled project, former YMCA development, or Till Pond, and that was Miss Charlie's Jameson. I think it should be noted.
So they had one public comment last meeting, and they had someone stand up and ask questions, was treated rather rudely, and they didn't bother to list the person's information. What in the hell? They didn't, I mean, what? These are major issues. And this guy, Andrew Dale, points them out every month. Now, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? Yeah, right, Kate, absolutely. What are they going to do here? Are they going to approve these? Or are they going to not approve them? What do we think?
There's a public comment. Who asked the public comment? And finally, under commissioner comments, they're not included at all in the minutes.
They didn't include the commissioner comments. The 5 commissioners, they didn't include their comments in the minutes at all.
Commissioner Miller, or President Miller, elaborated on the YMCA Canal project, how further elaborated, and then Commissioner Wagley provided clarifications on the 2 different developers. President Miller updated on the disposition of the Cohen Memorial plaque that is now stalled, I think, until mid-2026. That was a commissioner comment. And then I commented on the YMCA and the Till Pond projects, just on the need for requests for updates. And then finally, I made a remark that about the BSU comment about a stalled project, which I thought was unnecessary. But anyway, I would offer these up for inclusion for finalization.
Now understand, Zane Bishop made the motion to accept the minutes. Then they talked about them. So then he says, I think we need to amend them. Okay, so now listen to what happens here.
The minutes.
Okay, Mr. Bishop, you offered up a motion and that has been seconded. Do you want to amend your motion or do you want to keep it as is?
Motion to amend my amendment.
Zane said that he would amend his motion
To include Mr. Dale's revisions.
Okay, that motion is on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
Uh-oh. Andrew Dale seconded it. So I just assume what's going to happen because Pribella is sick, that you're going to have Andrew Dale and Zane Bishop vote yes, and you're going to have Isaac Miller and Shireen Wegley vote no. And it's going to die 2-2. Then they'll hold them over to next month when Pribella's back, and they'll vote them through without the amendments next month.
There's a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll take roll. Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Dale?
Bishop voted.
No.
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Dale voted. Okay. Dale voted.
Miller, yes. Ms. Wagley?
Whoa! Miller voted yes. So that's three. That's 3 yeses. So it passes. So since it's already passing, surely Shireen's just going to stay with the crowd and say yes, right?
No.
Look at her. Look at it. Look at her when she says no. It like, look at this.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll take roll. Mr. Bishop?
What's your face?
Mr. Dale?
Yes.
Mr. Miller, yes. Ms. Wagley?
No.
Like she took so much pride in that. Shireen Wegley is a gross potato. That's it. Why? What is the deal? What is your malfunction? You're so twisted in your brain that you can't. I don't get it. Dan having you in the. This is why I know Dan Ridenhour is stupid. Stupid. Because he thinks having you in the office is a good idea. You, Shireen Wegley, are an idiot.
Move on to the claims, Mr. Wright.
And I'm going to let you know, that's the one and only yes vote Andrew Dale has got, I think, since he's been here this time around. It'll probably be the only one he ever gets. He won't get them again. It's just done. Okay? So now we move on through this meeting. Normally these meetings are about an hour and 45 minutes long. And it's only 38 minutes long today because Jeff Howell's not here. And you're exactly right, Kate. That's exactly why he did it. So they go through the meeting. If you want to watch the meeting, you can go through and you can watch it. It is what it is. I'm going to skip ahead to the public comment. And this is now the next part of the meeting that we need to watch. If you want to watch the whole meeting, go watch it. It's worth a watch. I've watched it all, but these are the main points. Here we go with public comment.
Rick Yancer, newsman and author. Came to my attention last week that the city, or probably redevelopment commission, since your director was doing the talking, wants to build another subdivision in the middle of a field that has no access, no utilities or nothing. I'm talking about that field out there by Farmington, the Ball State gave the city. He was trying to get money from the county, and frankly,
now, just briefly, what I want to know is who's this assassin back here that has his face completely covered? What is going on here? This dude, why? That's scary to me. I stared at him the whole time, and I was like, that dude has his face blacked out.
I'm kind of opposed to spending $2 million in public money for another housing addition when
you better not have
private
COVID
developers, private construction companies, and others are building housing all over this county, and they're not getting a dime of tax dollars. I don't know the economy here in the last 5 years of building out housing with public money, but it needs to stop. It's not bringing jobs. It's not helping us. There's not a lot of local labor. Let me give you an example out here that I found a month ago with the Ridge Group. I thought it was a gas and oil company that the dad operated, build convenience stores, put in gasoline pumps, things like that. Well, the kids have evolved it into construction development. They're building a multi-million-dollar apartment complex just west of town in Yorktown. All they needed was the water and rezoning. They don't want anything else. They also have dibs on this continued county housing project out near Cowan between Campac, and I've noticed all their construction throughout the state of Indiana, both housing and commercial. They don't seek public money. And again, you might beware because, again, if you see more housing like we've had out in Yorktown, either a half a century ago when people moved out to Yorktown, including the Muncie Elks Club, you're not going to have people come to this town, for number one, because the tax rate's higher than anything out here in the rural routes. Number two, people still want the schools in rural routes because we still have a lot of rural
time,
routes.
Mr. Yenser, if you'd like to finish your thought.
Oh, I still have the right under the Constitution to speak.
No,
So I will
debating
finish
your rights,
in
sir.
2
I just
seconds.
said you could finish.
I'm telling you to stop.
Okay. Anybody else for public comment today?
And look at his smug asshole face. Just a smug asshole. Like, I just want to know, does that make Dan happy? Like, listen, I know every time that he's went off on somebody that after the meeting, they go back upstairs and they all laugh about it and they make jokes about it and everything like that. They make jokes and everything like that happens. And it's fine if they want to do that in public or whatever, or in private. But I really want to ask the mayor, really want to ask Dan, is this what you had in mind? Is that's how you feel the public should be treated? I guess so. I mean, you don't like citizens. You'll freely tell when people, you don't like citizens or they should shut up or this citizen drives you nuts or whatever. So you're no different than any of the rest of them. So I need you to come out and admit it. Just want you to come out and admit it. Yeah, I love when my people do this because I hate listening to the public. That's what I want to hear Dan say. I just think it's gross. I'm not the only person. There was another comment on the city's thing today that said, like, maybe they should really consider doing things differently, and because stopping people like that is just not a good thing to do. It doesn't help, and it's not like it's adding anything to the topic. It causes people to have issues, and the thing says, add a comment. Sometimes a person who's presenting a public comment is cut off at the 2-minute mark by the board president before the person is able to finish his position. I feel the board or commission should be more flexible in allowing time to the presenter. There didn't appear to be an overabundance of presenters. Verbal altercations should be avoided. Let the people be heard. And there were several people that liked it. And here's the thing. This is an ongoing issue for Isaac Miller. He likes it. Look at him. He loves this. The only other thing I think is interesting, and we're going to show, and we're done with this, is they're gonna close it out, and watch the very first thing that happens as soon as they close it out.
Hi, Jeff. Hi, Jeff Crowder. I'm a local building owner, your neighbor.
Just the only thing I have is I hope Mr. Howe and his family are doing okay today, doing well, thinking of them.
Yes.
Okay. Seeing no other commissioner comments, we will be adjourned until our next meeting on September 18th, 2025. Thank you so much.
Look, and oh, look, these two, they're going to meet and chit-chat and talk. Gross. Absolutely gross. It is what it is. It's such a disservice. This is not what Dan ran on. That's the thing that gets me. He doesn't ever look at this or think about this and think, man, they're really going against what I ran on. They're kissing behind the chair. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to tell people they were kissing behind the chair. That's exactly right. Okay. Just moving along here. We've got, this is the last topic. We'll be done here. Give me just a few more minutes and we'll have you out of here. I just wanted to discuss this issue. This actually broke on Tuesday when I had the big Blackford County topic already in the chamber and ready to rock and roll. But this was big news, and I definitely wanted to talk about it. This was from the Indy Star. This, of course, is in reference to the sexual assault issue, the sexual deal going on in Henry County and the lawsuits. This is from the Indy Star. Despite denials, emails shows that the ex-Henry County sheriff knew of sex abuse claims. So from the time that this all came out, Rick McCorkle was saying, I didn't know anything about it. And I was giving Rick McCorkle the benefit of the doubt until we found something that came out and said otherwise. And the shit has hit the fan. And so now, as far as I'm concerned, Rick is no better than any of the rest of them. To hell with him. He does not have my backing, my support, and I want to see him brought down just like everybody else. A newly disclosed email contradicts previous claims by former Henry County Sheriff Rick McCorkle that he knew nothing about the 2018 sexual abuse allegations against community corrections officials, who was also special sheriff's deputy. McCorkle said earlier this year that he was unaware of an inmate's allegation in 2018 that the deputy community corrections director, Jason Bertram, had touched the man's genitals during a work release meeting in 2018. The accuser is one of at least 7 men who claim Bertram used his power to coerce them into unwanted sex acts before killing himself in 2023. Most of the men were abused after 2018. 6 of them are now suing Henry County leaders in federal court for failing to take steps that could have prevented the abuse. McCorkle, who was sheriff from 2015 to 2022, said under oath in a March 6th deposition that he was not aware of the 2018 allegation. He said it under oath in deposition. Rick McCorkle is in trouble. He also told Indy Star in a June 5th phone interview that the allegation wasn't brought to my attention and that he wasn't aware of the 2018 complaint. But in an email unearthed as part of the pending civil lawsuit against him and other officials suggest he did know about the allegation. He did know. That's why public record requests are so important. Things like that. The email is the most recent evidence to emerge that McCorkle and other Henry County leaders knew about the allegations against Bertram for years, but failed to stop him from victimizing even more men. In the June 12, 2018 email, then Henry County prosecutor Joe Burax asked the Indiana State Police to take over the investigation from the Sheriff's Department. The prosecutor wrote that he received a call from Sheriff McCorkle informing him that a Henry County jail inmate named Michael Ritchie had made a complaint against Bertram under the Prison Rape Elimination Act. The allegations contain inappropriate touching by Mr. Bertram against Mr. Ritchie, the prosecutor wrote, noting that Bertram is a special deputy appointed by, you guessed it, Sheriff Rick McCorkle. When confronted with the email, McCorkle told Indy Star he didn't remember the allegation or speaking with the prosecutor, but he acknowledged it may have happened. Well, why didn't he acknowledge it may have happened on the deposition or on the original phone interview with Indy Star? I'm not going to tell you that I didn't, he said in an August 14th phone interview. I don't remember it. I just don't remember. I have no reason to lie to you. I have no reason, but I did. I just don't remember doing any of that with Mr. Ritchie. At the time of the 2018 complaint, both the prosecutor and McCorkle sat on the Henry County Community Corrections Advisory Board, which had the power to fire Bertram. But even after they learned of a second accusation from a different inmate in 2020, they both took no action to restrict Bertram's access to clients. Man, I'm telling you, Rick, old buddy, old pal, what in the hell? Yeah, twice. This happened twice. And he's just going to act like, yeah, it ain't no big deal. You know, I didn't know if it happened or not. I just figured I could say it didn't happen and it would be okay. You know, that's like, I want to know, when he was a cop and he pulled somebody over and was like, have you been drinking? And they're like, well, I can't remember. I may have, but I don't think so. You know, I wonder if he would have been okay with that. You know what I mean? Something tells me he wouldn't have been. Something tells me he would have been like yanking you out, arresting you. You know? And so the fact that he now thinks that he just gets a pass because he's like, I just simply couldn't remember. I've slept too many times since then. You know? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just totally crazy to me that all of these people were in positions like this, and you know, to allow this guy to cause this much chaos and everybody else that was involved with it, because let's face it, it wasn't just Bertram. There's so many more people that was dealing with this insanity, you know? And they had the ability to stop him, but they didn't. They did not. Only after several more men came forward with allegations amid a new state police investigation did the board finally fire Bertram in the end of 2022. So 2 more years this man went on victimizing people. It's sad that this went on for so long and the cover-up is still continuing, said Indianapolis attorney Jonathan Little, who we were supposed to have on the program back on the 13th. So last week, but something came up and we're going to reschedule and we are going to get him on and you guys are going to love to hear from him. He's great. He goes on to say, just think of all the men and boys who could have been spared. McCorkle attributed the board's inaction to a lack of sharing information, and he said he doesn't believe there was a cover-up. I don't know why it got dropped, he said, but I just can't imagine anybody wanting to cover it up. As Deputy Director of Community Corrections, Bertram oversaw defendants placed on house arrest or assigned to community service. McCorkle said he designated everyone who worked in community corrections as a special deputy, so they had arrest powers if needed. McCorkle isn't the only one who said he forgot about Richie's case. The prosecutor said it. Okay. I really don't remember anything, the prosecutor said. I'm sure it had to do with inappropriate touching, but I don't remember whatever the specific allegations were as I sit here now. Berjax did not respond to an inquiry from the Indy Star. Of course he didn't. But the newly disclosed email and previously disclosed state police records show that he was heavily involved and that he declined to prosecute Bertram because the statute of limitations had expired, he stated. The statute of limitations is a time limit set in state law for filing criminal charges after an alleged crime is committed. The limit is generally longer for more serious offenses. Little contends the statute of limitations had not expired for crimes such as sexual battery and official misconduct. He criticized McCorkle and the prosecutor for their claims they couldn't remember such serious allegations against a member of Henry County law enforcement community. Bullshit. Should we be concerned about the rash of amnesia in Henry County, Little said. Although McCorkle and the prosecutor no longer hold elected office, both men have continued in government service. McCorkle is now a school resource officer for South Henry School Corp, and the prosecutor is now one of 4 public defenders listed on the county's website. As the Indy Star reported in June, Berjax and the prosecutor and McCorkle are among several county officials who have been named as defendants in lawsuits filed by Bertram's accusers. Others include Community Corrections Director Joni Williams, Henry County Circuit Court Judge Kit Crane. The lawsuits accuse Henry County officials of effectively running a sex trafficking operation and are seeking damages under the Federal Trafficking Victims Protection Reauthorization Act and the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organization Act, RICO. Henry County officials have denied in court records that they failed to properly respond to abusive allegations, which is laughable because just the fact that we're here in this time means that they failed to act. The prosecutor, the judge, they are entitled to qualified immunity, legal doctrine that protects government officials from civil liability unless they violate clearly established laws. Just complete and utter bullshit. Okay? They are not, in my opinion, eligible for that. They are going to face this issue, and it's going to be bad for them. It's going to be bad for Henry County, and I'm here for it. I am no longer okay with anyone in this mess. And we expect him to protect children against this kind of thing? Absolutely. I think that McCorkle needs to resign his position as a resource officer immediately. Matter of fact, I'm calling on him to resign. I am demanding that he resign immediately. I want to know which agency he has arrest powers through. Is it the sheriff's department? If so, Sproles better pull that back immediately. If it's some other agency, it needs to be pulled back immediately. Admiral Eric said, I've said this before. When we were kids in Newcastle, we were taught to stay away from Henry County deputies. Yeah, listen. I think it was common knowledge he slept with plenty of women while a cop. They all hide each other's secrets. Yeah. Listen, this was the most open in everyone's face. It was the most unhidden secret out there. totally crazy, totally insane. I've known about these allegations since I was a kid. I'm in my 30s. Yeah. I've, you know, I don't know what to say, but I'm gonna push forward. McCorkle needs to resign from the resource officer position, and you know, that's that. And anybody else that's involved with this from the city or the county, they need to resign. They need to step down. Anybody that's connected to this or oversees these people, they need to push for them to resign. There needs to be total accountability. I say we need to get rid of everybody in Newcastle and Henry County and start again. Honestly. Absolutely. Yep. Okay, so McCorkle is through Middletown PD. Is that what you're saying? All right. Well, we're gonna have to call on that to change. There goes the new insurance company. So, all right, folks, that's gonna do it for us tonight. We've covered a lot. Sorry it took so long. There was a lot to get through. I do have another big. Oh man. No, sorry. I got to get through this last story. There's actually two stories. I'll hold one till tomorrow, but I've got to get through this last story. My computer over here crapped out on me. We'll get through this really briefly. This will only take 4 minutes. Stay right there. I got to get through this. Okay. Madison County Government Center. Give me 1 second. This is very, very important. Live stream. Okay. So let me put this up here. Here we go. Madison County's 2026 budget process. This is going to take just a second. This is very, very, very important. So on Tuesday, this past Tuesday, a lot of stuff happened on Tuesday. The council on the 19th, they had a budget meeting. And I'm going to put this up on the screen here. I'll get to the common market. I'll tell you about the common market. Give me 1 second. Let me get rid of the story and I'll tell you about the common market. The common market's very, very quick because I've already actually talked about it, but I'll explain it to you again. Okay, this is very important because I got to get this into a short. So, what the hell? Okay. Here is the start of the meeting. I want to show you this. This was the Madison County 2026 budget process. I'm going to hide myself and I'm going to make this full screen. Okay. This, ladies and gentlemen, started and occurred on Tuesday, August 19th, 2025. And the council, the people on the right, are talking about their 2026 budget process. And as you see, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cops in back, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's like at least total 13 in the room. Okay. We're going to start this meeting. This meeting started at like 4 or 5 o'clock and it went for 4 hours, 4.5 hours. Okay. I'm going to show you what this meeting looks like 7 minutes into it.
I got this report on
Okay. 7 minutes into it. Look how many cops are in here now. Let me count this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So there were like 25 cops sitting in here waiting to hear about their budget process. The liaison to the county sheriff's department is Counselor Jody Norick right here. the day or two before this meeting, she told them, don't even bother coming. You're not going to be allowed to speak. Now, I think it's wild that they would tell their employees in a meeting, there's no public here. You mean during the budget process, you as a council are not even going to listen to your employees? You tell them not to show up? I have texted her on both of her phone numbers, and I have asked her if she in fact told them that, and she refuses to answer me. And shame on her for that. Shame on her for that. Okay? So, at the start of the meeting, there's all these cops. All right, they had a list. And I know that when you have a list, you could go in order, you need to go in order. But since all these cops were here, it was like, you don't think that you could switch it really quickly and just do them first and get it out of the way? But they were told no. They purposefully held the cops over until the last point on the agenda. 4.5 hours. 4.5 hours. They did this because they wanted to wait these men and women out. And let me show you what it looks like 4.5 hours later. There you go. That's exactly what they did. Now, look, I get it. We can hate on cops. We can do whatever we want. We can say all they did. Look. I've not had a whole bunch of problem with people in Madison County. Even when I've had issues with like the elected sheriff, I don't have much issues with the rank and file. They do a pretty good job of doing what they're supposed to do. I don't have issues with them. Okay. So here's the thing. At 4 hours, 17 minutes, and 30 seconds, they finally allow one of their employees to talk, a deputy. And I have went back and listened to this several times, and I have transcribed what he said. I'm going to let him say it. I'm going to let you hear it, okay? I'm going to let you hear this right here.
Able to talk meaningfully on Thursday, or do we need to put this off a little further?
I don't know what putting on. If we're going to put it off, then we're going to have to increase the budget by, I don't know. It's just, we can't advertise it at this. We can't advertise it at this because we cannot increase it. If we
can't.
Well, you have to have a vote. You have to have the five of us. Yeah. So I mean,
vote on every line item.
No.
Remind me of the rule. Five votes to be able to raise it higher.
I don't think it's line item.
It is any line item, but you don't have to vote per line item.
So
you just have to have 5 on the whole budget to pass it if you increase a single line item.
Okay.
So,
but otherwise, it's only 4 votes.
The strategy was to advertise, if anything, high.
Yes, so you can always bring it down.
So you can always bring it down.
But you can't just advertise a higher number because even a line item, like you make a mistake on a line item or something, or we forget somebody in 0 amount.
So,
we can't even increase
we need to
that
go back
line
there and say,
with the vote.
What will it take us to get to a
in the fall of 20?
Oh, here we are.
Advertise it. But I'm going to be realistic, guys. I would love to be able to do that, but I think you can see where we're at. There's no way I can possibly, even at
That's
breaking
Jody
down
talking
11,
to
11,
him.
and 11, I can't do 11%. I just can't do it.
Can I speak on that?
Certainly.
Mason Brizendine with the Madison County Sheriff's Department merit deputies. I just want to provide some much needed context to the issue that we're dealing with now. In response to an unprecedented increase in police salaries statewide, in the fall of 23, we began meeting with commissioners in an effort to renegotiate our contract. We started this process with the former president of this council present at that very first meeting. This may be news to some of you, but he verbally expressed this council's support for our efforts at that time. For over a year, we met with the commissioners on a routine basis. We were able to reach an agreement with them in the fall of 2024. Prior to the county budget being approved, I was personally assured that our negotiated salaries would be reflected in the proposed 2025 Madison County budget. Entirely inconsistent with that assurance, the Gale amendments were proposed and passed containing our previous figures. Any and all language and progress of that contract was then null and void. After the rug was pulled out from under our feet, we didn't storm out of these doors. We didn't shout. We didn't do anything that required any of you to bang on that gavel up there. We didn't come down with the blue flu. We didn't talk to lawyers. We continued to put on our bulletproof vests, put on our duty belts, and we went to work. We walked out of this room and continued our regularly scheduled negotiations, coming to an agreement with the commissioners again in March of 2025, in complete and total accordance with decades of past practice in this county. Now, I say all this not to cast shade, not to besmirch anyone's name or the integrity of this process. I tell you this so that you and everyone listening has the background of events that transpired from 2023 to today as it relates to the contract in front of you that you're considering. At no point in this process did we ever reach for the stars or just throw everything at the wall to see what would stick. All of our requests were reasonable based on salaries and benefits of surrounding police departments. If you decide to appropriate funding for this contract, we will still not be the highest paid officers in this county. Likely, we won't even be among the top 3. These efforts were geared to retain the deputies who the taxpayer Madison County has already invested thousands of dollars into, and to give us the opportunity to fill vacancies as people naturally come to retirement age within our department. We cannot allow ourselves to become a feeder department for other agencies in an endless cycle of recruitment, retraining, and rehiring. The Madison County taxpayer sees no long-term return on that investment. We recognize the fiscal burden that you bear. We understand you wish there was more money to go around. I often hear in these meetings and even tonight concepts such as new money, additional appropriations, and a multi-million-dollar rainy day fund. Although I don't claim to be an expert in public administration or budgeting, I'm a pretty simple guy. What I can assure all of you tonight is that it will be a very rainy day in Madison County when you don't have thoroughly trained deputies showing up to domestic batteries, fatal crashes, shootings, mental health crises, homicides, and any other tragedy you can imagine. You can just ask some of these guys back here the horrific sights they've seen in the last week alone at work, not to mention what they've endured throughout their careers. You have a very important, but also a very simple decision to make. This council decides who shows up to the Madison County taxpayer's doorstep on the worst day of their life. If this council is content with filling those boots with warm bodies, eventually that's exactly what you'll get. If this council is content with filling police cars with people who barely meet our minimum hiring standards, eventually that's what you're going to get. If you want to offer a discount salary, eventually you're going to get discount results. However, if you believe this Madison County taxpayer, your constituents deserve deputies with relevant work experience, certifications, college degrees, military veterans, then there is only one decision to be made. This is a profession, and in order to retain and attract professionals, we have to offer a competitive salary and give deputies a financial reason to work in this county. Respectfully, this is us sounding the alarm. Any departure from our approved contract will result in significant manpower and recruitment consequences for years to come. We appreciate your attention. We appreciate your support of the Madison County Merit Deputies. We're hopeful you'll make the correct decision. Thank you.
Thank you.
And they listened like they really cared. They really cared. He ends off saying, those are things for us to think about. And then they immediately adjourn the meeting and get the hell out of there. They're going to do what they're going to do. They don't care what that guy just said. They do not care at all what that deputy just wrote. Look, like cops, don't like cops, agree with them, disagree with them, whatever. At the end of the day, they're county employees like everybody else. Everybody needs a raise. Everyone in the county gets raises at certain points. And if they have a contract that they have said that this is what they're going to get, what they need to do is, the problem here is this council has purposefully punished these guys and are working to punish them harder. And that just needs to stop. That needs to stop. So I just think it's funny that they had all those cops there and they purposefully held their port to the very last when, only a few stragglers stuck out there. I think that's interesting. Very telling. They had a meeting tonight. I haven't been able to catch it yet because it was going while we were going live, so I'm going to have to watch it. We will have Catherine coming on here in the next coming up a little bit to let you guys know. So that's that. Tonight is Thursday night. We talked about having a special show on Friday or Saturday to make up for the weekend. But Kate's got some things going on. And I think instead of doing that, I'm just going to take the time off. I'm going to continue working on it, and we will be back Sunday, and we will bring you a regular show on Sunday and be back to give you what we've got. And that'll be that. So unless something major happens, which the way this week's been going, it is a possibility, but we more than likely will just see you on Sunday. If I am going to do a show tomorrow, I'll be doing it solo. But if I do that, you guys will know early in the afternoon or evening. You'll be able to see it. So if you don't see the show or I've not posted about it, I'll see you Sunday. We'll be back here Sunday. And when we come back, I don't know what all we'll be talking about, but definitely one of the things we'll be talking about is this chaos ongoing within the Muncie Fire Department, because there's some chaos going on there that we need to talk about, as well as everything else. So you guys take care. Have a great rest of what? Oh, wait. The Common Market. Well, take care of yourselves and do all that stuff. The Common Market, Tweety Bird, I go back and listen to it at the beginning because I talked about this. I don't really know what's going on with the Common Market. I will tell you this. Mike put that post out there on the Common Market, and he said, we're having some trouble. They want us to pay $1,000 a day. And in order for us to do what we need, if we don't do what we need to do, it's going to cost us $1,000 a day. And if we do what they want us to do, it's going to cost us $20,000, and we don't have the money. And then myself and a bunch of other people went on there and said, wait a minute, who's telling you this? What government agencies threatening you like this, and what's going on, and how can we help? And then he purposefully ducked out on all of that stuff. He would not answer that, would not answer it. Finally, after everybody and their brother was like, wait a minute, you're not giving us any information, he finally went on and he said, well, we're wanting to play it safe, and we're only wanting to worry about that if it goes through and our door's shut. To me, that's backwards. To me, it's like, you might want to fight it before the shit hits the fan. If you wait till the shit hits the fan, it's already hit the fan. It's too late. We need to fight it beforehand. But if he's not willing to speak up, there's nothing we can do. So I don't know what's going on. He's going to have to come out and tell us. And if he doesn't, then there's very little that anybody can do. I don't know. And I'm going to tell you, maybe it's unpopular, but my thing is the reason he doesn't want to do that is he's done a lot of good stuff for the community, but he's also been very buddy like with all these people. So he doesn't want to be on the bad side of them, but it sounds like he already is. My question is why? Yeah, like Kate said, yeah, absolutely. Without info, he's shit out of luck. So that's that. Maybe we'll get more information. I don't know. I'll keep trying. If you guys here, let me know. If you know what's going on, reach out to me and let me know behind the scenes, and we see what we can do. But other than that, maybe a vape shop. Yo, vape shop. All right. Take care. God bless. Have a good evening. We will see you back here Sunday unless something crazy goes on, and then we'll see you tomorrow. But other than that, Sunday it is. You guys take care. God bless. Have a good night. Peace.